Yeah, it just good afternoon, good afternoon. Welcome to another Go Off Live. Tonight we'll be talking about brother and sisters. We're going to be having some sisters, and we got some more. Hopefully, we have some more brothers joining us tonight to talk about it. But we do have one of our brothers tonight. Um, and a good friend. I'll let him go ahead and introduce himself before we give you a little welcome prayer before we go ahead and tackle that hard subject, brotherhood and sisterhood.
Hello, my name is Brother Aristotle Thomas. I've been a Mason for going on 11 years now. I'm a Shriner, and I got to hold the position of Deputy Grand Master now. So I think I got more gray hair being Deputy Grand Master now than anything. So I'm ready
Okay.
to take a break, at least 6 months here.
We know when you call the service, you never your service is never done. So
I know.
so so just get ready. So okay, for those who don't know, again, I am Sean Cannon, District Grand Master, Grand United Order of Fellows in South Carolina. I'm also a Principal Mason, a Shriner, a Elk, and a number of other things. Red House, Purple House, Black House. Some people like those terms, but some people don't. But I am what I am. But the most important thing I am is a father, a son, a grandfather, and a brother. Those are the most important things.
I
Everything
haven't
else.
made that stage yet, grandfather. I haven't made no grandfather yet. I ain't trying to. Right, let me go and knock on all this wood right there. I ain't
Well,
trying
then
to.
you could still go ahead and try and go and make some more. Then, so if you make
No,
when you grandfather, you stop. Well, when you in the
no.
grandfather, you could still go ahead and go. So
Mm.
we want to welcome y'all here. First, we're gonna say a little prayer to you, um, and just a little inspiration speech. Uh, we want to thank you all for joining us today. We ask you continue guidance and give us the strength and mercy to give you the positive words from our hearts, our minds, and our soul. We're here to uplift you, not to bring you down. We're not anything but negative, but we are here positive. We are all our brothers' keepers, but we also our sisters' keepers. But most important, we are our own keepers. And with that being said, we're going to begin our show tonight and have a nice dialogue about what's real brotherhood and sisterhood is, or what it should look like than what it is being looked like and perceived nowadays. A lot of people want to say that you're brothers and sisters, but are they brother your sister just because you in their eyesight? So when you leave the eyesight, all that goes out the door. Who knows? Let's
Yeah.
just talk about it. So you have been, you
Well,
have
I know
been
you say you're a prince.
Yeah, I'm a Prince All Mason.
Okay, I'm a Scottish Rite Mason,
Oh,
and
well, we still.
everybody, I still run into the most. Oh, we can't talk to you. You not real. You clandestine. You know, where'd y'all get y'all charter from? And they be like, well, did y'all get it from England? I'm like, well, England don't own masonry at all. We do. Heck, Prince Hall. Let's use the correct name. Thomas Prince Hall was a four letter, and a lot of people don't realize that. Like, no, no, he was 3 letter. No, he was 4 letter. There was no such thing as 3 letters. It wasn't Scottish Rite, York Rite, and then Prince Hall. It was no such thing as that back in that time period. It was Scottish Rite or York Rite. Because if you go to France, it's York Rite. In some parts of England, it's York Rite. So a
Yeah.
lot of people don't understand that.
Well, I classify people. I don't look at me personally. I look at one thing only. I look at if you're a good person. Your heart and your mind don't always mean what it says. I can't judge a person myself by what organization they belong to, what race or color, because some of the best people I know wasn't always my family, but they still have shown me brotherly love more than some family members have.
Yep.
So I classify brotherhood and sisterhood not by what organization you belong to. For me personally, I classify by how you are to me, how you treat me, how you make me feel, what you think, um, and what you feel. That's how I classify it. We also joined today by Sister Jackie Lewis. Um, she's not on camera, but her mic is on, so she could talk also. But I think the ideal of brotherhood and sisterhood has been diluted today. Just like most things has been diluted. Cost is gone up higher to prove yourself that you are somebody, brother and sister, than just saying and being that simple person. Everybody want to give you have to do X amount of stuff to classify yourself as my brother and sister. Why do you have to prove yourself if you just going to be who you are? If you real, you real. You can't get no realer than actually being there for your brothers and sisters. Um, Sister Lewis, how you doing today? Well, she muted herself.
Good evening. How's
Yeah.
everyone doing today?
All right. How you doing?
Sorry I'm not visible, but
Yeah.
I will get visible shortly.
Oh. Well, at least with your screen like this, I'm gonna assume that you're a black young lady.
Yes, yes, I yes.
Which that don't make you no more different as being a brother or sister, but it just make you real. Um, but I'm gonna ask both of y'all, what's your classification of being a brother or sister? I'm gonna go with you, Sister Lewis.
Ladies
Let you
first.
go,
Ladies
Sister
first.
Lewis. Sister Lewis, what's your classification of being a real brotherhood and sisterhood?
My classification, fortunately, I was raised with brothers, so they showed the sisterhood and brotherhood to me. But when it comes to an organization, um, I think the sisterhood and the brotherhood should be a family type thing, really, because we're all in the same. We're all in the same order, and we are governed by the same things. And a lot of times, a lot of members need that sisterly and brotherly love to survive. You'd be surprised how people use organizations for camaraderie, just to keep from um, not having it at home. They will partake in there and they expect people to respect them, not talk about them. Who wants to be in cliques? So I think we need to understand, I think that needs to be broadcast. What is sisterhood and brotherhood? It's respectful for each other. Fully respect. Oh, I lost everybody.
No, I'm here.
Oh, I got this screen on me.
Uh,
Okay. What kind of screen is this?
we'll go to a um, we'll go to you, sir.
Okay. Well, I think what brother and sister love is where you
What is this?
there's no blood. I mean, it's we're bound by honor by by our words and our actions. And if you need help, or a brother needs help, a sister needs help, there should not be no stopping, you know, to not give render aid. You know, because I would want somebody to do something. You know, for me, if I need aid or something, it could just be just to listen, somebody to listen to when they venting or something going through. I mean, just different things, aspect of being a brother and sister. Because sometimes if you can let a person just vent and get it off their chest, and that help a person feel better a lot of times, is they can get things off their chest or what's off their mind, because we all have issues, but sometimes another person's issue might be worse than yours.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. Uh,
it ain't
um,
always money or something like that. They just want you to listen. You know, sometimes you can come out, you know, might experience something, that person what they're going through, and you just help them, just listen, to give them a small advice. That's their choice to take it and to do it. I mean, listen to it and take it and, you know, put it in their life as practice, but that's up to them. But you have to listen to sometimes people, rather than have them listen, because I have people at my job listen to me all the time. They tell me what's going on. I just listen and listen, and they be like, "Well, thank you for listening," because they go through a lot. This is a stressful world right now.
yeah. We got a question from Mr. Travis Davis. He asked, "Am I saying that you have to have monetarily to be brother and sister?" No, I don't believe in that. I believe in your action, how you treat, and you cultivate your relationship with a person. That would make them your brother and sister. Money don't do anything. People have money, people don't have money, but that don't make them real to you or somebody you want to invite them into your life and into your family life. I personally believe, this is just me, how you treat me, and then by extension, how you treat my family and people who I care about, shows me if you want to be close to me or part of my inner circle or my family, so to speak. Because my family isn't by blood. Because I have, honestly, I have like 19 other brothers and sisters. I don't even know.
That's a big family.
Where my
Very
dad
big.
was, he was a very busy man. But I don't know them. But I got some good friends. I consider more my brothers and sisters than the my actual blood. Who I don't know. They my blood by birth, but I choose my brothers and sisters not just by biological, but by how you are, how you interact in my life. If I need something, or like you said, somebody to talk to. Uh, I had brothers and sisters wanted just give me money after I had my stroke, but it meant more to me to see one brother come here and say, "I come here to check on you." For no other reason. I'm just coming by to check on you to see how you doing. That meant more to me than anybody offering $20, $25 when I got sick. Money comes and goes, but true brotherhood, true sisterhood, it could last a lifetime, and it could get you through a lot of dark moments, from life, from death to joy. It could get you through all that. It's not categorized in one shape or form, but it's just how you and that person interact. How do you feel? Do you feel that monetary makes the person your brothers your sister if they help you?
Um, it don't matter. I mean, as long as they're there when I need them, I can pick up the phone. They can call them, or they call me. I'm like you. If you just call me like once a week or every 2 or 3 days, I don't mind that. I mean, they don't have to be family. Just like we start, like they say, you know, just just call and check up on somebody. Exactly like you said, hearing another voice, it goes a long way. Or even a text. Now
No,
these days, even a text. But I'd rather have that old school phone call. Let me hear your voice, because you might that when you gone, you don't get to hear that person's voice anymore.
Okay, let me ask you this question. And how do you how do you rate or start to build a brotherhood or sisterhood with someone? What's the best way you feel is a good way to build that type of relationship?
This casual conversation, because you might have things in common, a lot of things in common. People might, love candles or love cars, love motorcycles, or mystery TV shows. You find out just saying hello and are you having a good day or everything okay. That's usually how it starts.
Okay. Do you think a friendship or brotherhood could start instantly? You see somebody, y'all may have one or two things in common, and you automatically become brothers and sisters, or do you think it take time to cultivate and to learn each other and grow?
It depends on the situation, because I love cigars and I have found a lot of brothers and sisters that love cigars, and we all been to the cigar lounge together. So, and we
Mm,
tell each other about different cigars, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I know about that one. Yeah, okay, yeah, try this one." So that's how it works.
okay. What's the strongest type of form of brotherhood, sisterhood that you have found that have meant most to you? I know you say you like to hear people talk to you and stuff like that. Well, what is some of the other type of things that have made you feel personally closer to an individual? Just to make you feel like this is my real brother, this is my real sister.
Um, like what I'm going through now. The loss of my grandmother. I didn't know that many people that knew. They knew how I feel about my grandmother, and they've been calling and checking on me, coming by the house. Didn't I didn't have to ask nothing. They was like, "You gonna be there? We got just tell your mama we're gonna be all right. We're gonna be at the funeral." We didn't ask them to come. They was a pallbearer. They didn't ask nothing. They did the repast. They was there. Didn't have to ask them for nothing. They just took the initiative and just did what they need to do.
Okay.
So
So, do you feel more people show who they really are when you at your lowest, or just when you at your highest?
Lois, when you at your lowest, a lot of times people, you know, they be there, they might not be there, or they're there. It depends. Depends. And when you at highs, everybody want to be winning. And sometimes people on that, they don't like to see nobody succeed, and they'll show you who they really are.
Uh, a lot of people seem to nowadays classify, well, you my brother, you my sister, because we both in fraternal orders. Rather, what fraternal order you in, or what sorority you in, or what Greek you in. Me personally, I think it should not matter what you in. It just should be based on you, your person, yourself. What do you feel that be- growing that bond should be more like?
Oh, you see, yeah, it should just be growing and getting close to people. I know some Omegas, I know some Kappas, um, I know some Sigmas, and we all share the same bond. That camaraderie and that brotherhood. It don't matter what organization they're in. We just have fun when we get together. We enjoy each other company and just living life. I mean, there are a lot of some of them older, some are younger than I am, but I enjoy just being around them because I have a positive energy. We all bring something positive vibes together with each other.
Okay. A
A bad
question.
situation, somebody always okay,
Yeah.
situation
Yeah.
comes up, they take care of it.
Okay. Again, it was asked. A question was just asked: would a true brother or sister mislead or misuse you for their own personal plan, gain. So, will a true brother and sister take advantage of a situation? You believe?
No, they will. They have. They will use you. Some of them, like like example, like one brother needed some money, and you help him out or financial, help
Give
him
me
out being
some.
financial with them something. They will
Turn
use
it
you,
back.
and they don't even need it.
I need some salt. Dang, this is worse than.
Yes. I believe that anybody will use, sometimes take advantage of certain situations.
Family,
Give me
blood
some.
family will use you faster than the actual person that's not even blood.
Yes. So, I believe anybody will take advantage of a situation. It just depends on how much they may need it. Sometimes some brothers and sisters just don't know how to ask. They
No, they
just don't
don't.
know how
They
to
pride getting away.
ask. So, and one good thing that they may try to mislead you about something or misuse you about something. It may not be intentionally, but sometimes it is. So I never put anything past anybody, but that still don't mean that they're not a good person. It just mean, hey, life happens, and sometimes I believe people don't communicate as well as they should, or they can, or could. So, in my world, sometimes they do mislead and use you. But in that case, you have to look at the overall circumference, I think, of what they really have brought to your life, what it really meant to you. Because sometimes people make mistakes. That's a given. If you're alive, sooner or later you're gonna make a mistake. It just matter if you willing to be man or woman enough to step up and say, well, "I messed up. Please forgive me, and we're gonna work it out and make it out." And it might not be easy to get through it or with it, but it is what it is. So, your thoughts about whether a true brother or sister misuse or mislead you in their relationship?
Ooh, that's a hard one for me because I have been done real bad by somebody like that. They use me for different things. Like, okay, well, we're gonna use you. We need you to help us with this, or like one brother needed a place to stay, and he didn't need no place to stay. Well, he did, but he didn't want to help with nothing. He was just hiding out from using the place to cheat on his wife. I'm like, come on now, really? Then when she found out about it, she thought I was involved with it. Like, I have no clue what he was doing. So
So, Sister
I
Lord,
didn't know how to fix that one. I was like, look,
you didn't know how to fix that situation, but
I didn't know how to fix
really,
that situation, but just ask him like to be honest with his wife and tell the truth. You know,
well, sometimes we have to step. To me, sometimes we have to take a step back to take a step forward. Because just because we want to fix a situation for somebody we care about, don't mean we always should. Sometimes they gotta take that lump. It called lump for something. So, Sister Lord, what do you feel about friendships? Brotherhood could be misled or misused.
Well, my opinion. Well, I think it stems from the leadership. Um, I like to express the situation that I was in. You have leaders that are your brother and your sister, and they're in a position where, let's say, the they do a proclamation, or um, they revise the bylaw. They do this so they can govern. You can be governed properly, and that everyone be in one accord. But where do you look at the brotherhood if you've been ostracized for the same reason that they say that we should do in your proclamation and in your bylaws? And because you do it, you're ostracized for just doing that. So in a case like that, there is no brotherhood or sisterhood, because the brother and the sisterhood in turn was involved in this situation. So in a case like that, one's anger could really go negative. One could not feel as that the organization is worth it on this brotherhood and sisterhood. You know, um, People have done worse things, but it's all who you know that you'll slide through. But if you don't know nobody in the brotherhood or the sisterhood, then you're ostracized. You're talked down. You're put out. So a case like that, um, it's hard to believe in the sisterhood or brotherhood. It's
Well,
really hard because if
but
you're not in that clique,
but
they haven't gotten so that they
but but
cliquish.
yes, but in the same thing, it's not the organization that make it them not your
Right.
brother, but it's the individual. The organization don't have no bias because it's just an organization. It's a name, but it's the people that may be around or in a organization that may be not true to what their oath or their obligation may be, or not. They might not even be a part of the organization. It's just that the
But that
individual.
hurts. That hurts the organization because the organization did it. If we're allowed to have leaders that can do whatever they want, then the whole stigma is on the organization.
Well, no, it's still people. To me, it's still people because the people elect the leaders. The organization didn't elect the leaders. The organizations is there. They give you guidelines and stuff, but the people elect the people. So sometimes you have to fight. I'm not gonna say you don't have to fight the lead people in the organization, but the organization is not at fault. It's just the leadership at fault. But one of the people, brother Travis, stated that if he was misled or misused, it wouldn't be a true brother, true sister, uh, because they misled you or misused you. So, but I just think that can be true as well. It just depends on how far you want to take it.
Yeah,
That's
but
my.
they do it in the name of the organization.
Oh, well, no. I'm just saying. He just saying if a person, when not the organization, anybody could do things in the name of something. How many times have you heard people say, "I do this in the name of my boss," or I do this in the name of what I believe in? It's still the individual choice what to believe or what not believe. So it's still their choice to believe or not believe.
Then it weighs my confidence on the organization. Even though
So
it was an individual thing doing it, but what grounds do I stand on if the organization don't support you and you allow the individual to do what they want to do?
the only thing you could do is to me is vote because you're not
Yeah,
gonna always get because it depends who the leadership wants to put in place, how things gonna be done. So Uh, so what do you think, brother?
Well, like you said, you can get vote somebody out, and sometimes when you do that, some people refuse to leave their position.
Oh
They think
yeah,
they supposed to stay in that position, and they stay in that position. They don't want to let that power go.
yeah, but they could jeopardize other people in that position.
They don't want to let
So
that power go at all. So
in that case, they're hurting the organization. And
Yeah,
and in the situation, okay, I'll use the Eastern Stars for example. Now the leadership has destroyed one individual, but people knew that the individual was in the order. So they come to you, um, how can I be an Eastern Star? And for what they did, the response could be, you don't want to be no Eastern Star. They shady people up in there. They don't
yeah,
have no sisterhood or brotherhood. You know?
but
So
but
you
we
never
talking,
know the effect someone had in leadership, what
but
it
we
could
talk.
do to someone else.
Yes, but we're not talking about we're referring to brotherhood and sister. Yes, there's some bad brothers or bad who claim to be bad brothers, bad sisters. But how do we identify who is a true bad brother, bad sister? I
it's
mean,
hard to tell.
It's
It's
very
hard to
hard to
tell.
tell.
It's hard to
You
tell.
know, action speaks louder than words. So
Yeah.
it's hard to tell. Just like the brother previously said, his grandmother, and he was very surprised at the actions that they bestowed upon him. And then his eyesight, there's some good people. You understand what I'm saying? Because, excuse me, they showed true sisterhood and brotherhood to him. But when they don't, you can't figure out where sisterhood come in at or where brotherhood come in at. You just can't figure it out. When they do crazy stuff to you.
mhm.
So we got to, if we on the brotherhood and sisterhood thing, a lot of times we need to revisit our oath on the sisterhood level and the brotherhood level so they can realize why they're there. Because you're being a sisterhood or a brotherhood to total strangers.
Okay. But I think when you identify a brother or sister mess up, is it your obligation uh, to point that out for you to get that resolved and to see if it can be or should be resolved?
Yes. Yes, it is. It is. It is our job to correct that brother or sister, pull them up to the side, and to tell them, look, hey, I don't know what's going on. This is not right. That's our job. That's basically our job. You don't do it publicly. And I don't want to embarrass somebody publicly, but I put them to the side and tell them, hey, this is not what our obligation stand that we're supposed to be.
Okay.
I mean,
So 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 will you pull somebody aside or will you try to will you do it publicly if you see something going on wrong? When is the best time for you to pull somebody aside as their sister?
I would do it. A lot of times we're in meetings where a sister is dressed wrong and or she's probably not reading something right, I would guide them as to say, this is the, go to this page. This is how it's directed. And a lot of them come back and thank me, you know. Or if a sister's dress inappropriate, which is stated when before she became a sister in the organization, that your dress has to be below your knees, or you can't wear a sleeveless top. They will come back and say, "Oh, thank you, Sister Lois. And I like the way you did it." I pulled them to a side.
Okay.
I didn't boast it out, and I tried to say it not so they would feel bad, because a lot of people become embarrassed. You know, you don't want them to be embarrassed, but you want to tell them in a way that it's a lesson taught.
Okay. So when is it our obligation, not just talking about orders, but just as our obligation to uplift our brother, our people who we care about and who we consider our brothers and sisters? When is it? When should we step in and say, "Hey, I'm your brother too. So let me give you a shoulder to lean on."
Anytime, anytime.
Yeah, when you first encounter it, because
Yeah.
that's the rescue you need. I give you a good example. Um, and not to really harp on it, but Will Smith really needed Denzel Washington to calm him down. And Denzel Washington gave him a statement, is the devil's always on you. So that gave him a relief, that yes, life is challenging.
Yeah, but it ain't get Kurt Rock on jaw relief though.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
so,
I say both of them
so
wrong. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I ain't gonna even go nothing more than that. Both of them was wrong. Is wrong. That's all I'm gonna say on that part. They both was wrong.
yeah,
Because like they say, two
yeah.
wrongs don't make a right. You was wrong for talking about the man's wife. He was wrong for hitting him and cursing him. But then again, they should have just said, okay, look, let's meet somewhere and let's talk. But some people you
Yeah,
can't do like that.
yeah.
But
Well,
Chris Rock brother Tony Rock, oh, he is totally out of line. He's making
well,
this add more fuel to the fire because what he's gonna do is my thing of it, my understanding. Will Smith is a big hitter in Hollywood, big hit, a big movie star, big person in Hollywood. Tony Rock gonna end his whole career with that statement he said about Will, and that's what's gonna happen sooner or later. He talking about, oh, it ain't nothing gonna happen. I'm still gonna be able to do something now. They are not gonna even want you on there because you shouldn't even open your mouth. You should have said, like, okay, well, hey, Will, let me go talk to you. What he said, call a man, woman, call the man's wife out her name, then talk about him. No, that was wrong. That's
Oh, I
adding fuel
didn't
to the
hear
fire.
that.
Oh yeah, he
well,
added more fuel to the fire, and I'm like that. Been my wife was sorry. Either way it goes, you not gonna disrespect me because that's her. We two. That's her. That's me. You not gonna disrespect me. Now I had a brother that do me like that, and it was a grandmaster, and I
Mm.
put him in this place, but he didn't like it. But I had to let him know. Don't be talking about my wife. If I'm here or not, that's none of your business because I gotta go home and hear it. And I don't care if you
Mm.
tell another brother gonna come and tell me, oh, he said so about you. And I let him know. You were totally out of line.
Right.
yeah.
But he did
Yeah.
not like it. But I tell him I don't even respect him as a man. How you think I'm gonna respect you as a grandmaster?
See,
Well,
that's where the leadership comes in at.
Mm-hmm.
but,
They
but
wear it on their shoulders or their cuffs or something.
well, that's not all the time. But we have another sister just joined us, and would you like to introduce yourself, ma'am? Would you like to introduce yourself? Uh, so my thing is, uh, So let me ask y'all this: uh, how do you help develop a person and a relationship to have a good, strong brotherhood or sisterhood?
You say,
I
how do
gotta
you
think about that.
develop?
You introduce and develop that type of relationship.
Um, how you develop a good, strong relationship? Like I said, this
Yeah.
conversation, speaking. Um, you see them needing, struggling with something like struggling in a ritual, or just kind of help them, aid them. Be a mentor to them. That goes a long way. Don't never embarrass them. Hey, no, try this. This is try this. To help you out to get everything down. Use index cards. Read one page at a time for that whole day.
Yeah.
Everything can start
So,
coming to you. That's why you just be a mentor to them.
okay, we have another. Like I said, we have another member just join us. Would you like to introduce yourself, Lorraine? Would you like, Sister Lorraine? Would you like to introduce yourself?
She got a mute on.
Okay, Sister Lorraine, you can unmute yourself. Um, so in life, we have how many true friends do you think that a person will have in their life? Let me ask you that. Or true brothers, true sisters. Is there such thing as a number you should have to say, well, I got these true friends, true relatives, so this make me real or not real?
That's a hard question to answer right there. I think that's a hard one.
Hello.
That is a hard one. For me, that's a hard one. I don't know. There's no number. If somebody say you only can have one good friend, it's usually your mother, and then sometimes some cases the mother's not good friends. That's kind of hard. To answer that one.
Okay. Me personally, I don't think there's a limit on how many good friends you can have. It just depends on how open you are with your heart and how open other people are with their heart. So, so I just think it just depends on you how open you are with your heart. Uh, welcome back again. How you doing today, ma'am? I guess she's still frozen. Um, so there's no such thing as having too much of anything or everything. Um, what is friendship? What do you consider the characteristic of a good brother or good sister? I know communication is one. I think trust should be another, and respect should be another. Is there any other good characteristic that you would look for in a brother or sister?
And the only three: communication, trust. And the only three I can think of: space and communication and trust. You can communicate a person all day long and not trust them, but trust has got to be the main thing.
Okay. I think respect is a good thing. I know people could say they're your brother, your sister, but they don't show you respect just because they do something for you. They think that a person may think that they still your brother or sister, but they don't have to show you the same respect as they may show somebody else. Does respect factor into a relationship to be a good brother, a
It
brother or
does.
sister to you?
It
How
does.
so?
If you don't respect me, how can you communicate me? How can you trust me? I mean, how can you hold my something that I'm going through? You not tell everybody. something personal issue, how can I trust you to go out and not tell anybody? You know, because you got to respect that person to be able to open up to them.
Ma'am, since you joined us again, how do you feel respect factor into the relationship of brotherhood and sisterhood? I'm not sure she got a mic. Mic is on. How do you feel respect factors into your relationship? Guess you frozen again. So, respect should be a major part, I think. Uh, it don't matter how much good you do to me, but if you can't respect me as a person, a father, a grandfather, or just as a man, then you can't be my kumbaya. You can't be my ace for coon, as they used to say. If you can't show me the respect, or you can't show mine was respect. You can't show me respect and then show everybody else around me who I care about disrespect. Can't be that close to me like that. Your thoughts? Your thoughts, Doc? Can somebody be your best friend or a good friend to you if they can't show your loved ones respect?
Sometimes I don't even bring people around my closer inner circle, like my mom or something like that. Not in the beginning. I want to see how they act when we're together. You know, that's just like when I was dating and I had small kids. It would be like I wouldn't bring a woman around my kids, not at all, because I didn't want them to get used to seeing that person or seeing me with a different person, different female all the time. That's just how I am. I'm very private when it comes to certain things. I want to get to know that person on an individual level before I bring them to like meet my mom or meet my sister or my kids.
So, how long should you develop or cultivate your relationships before you decide to
It
introduce them to your inner circle?
um, it's got to be longer than 6 months, at least almost a year. You know, 6 months to a year, because things can change within 6 months to a year. You will always want to see a person in their different seasons.
Mm. Unless you're in a bad neighborhood and you have all seasons.
Yeah, you want to see them all in their different seasons.
Uh, so, Miss Lorraine, how much should you introduce a person? How long should it take for you to introduce somebody into your inner circle? Uh, guess she don't hear me.
But
All
I'm gonna
right,
step away for a moment. I got a phone call I gotta take. It's one of
all
my
right, go
daughters,
ahead.
and
All
I'll
right,
be
go
right. I'll
ahead.
be back.
All right,
Okay.
I understand. So it seemed to be just me. Pretty soon we'll be wrapping up, but uh, I think we started a conversation tonight. I think we still need to explore more about what is our foundation for brotherhood and sisterhood. I also believe that we haven't really touched the real surface of how you find your brothers and your sisters. Um, we started the conversation. And I think we should continue the conversation. I'm not sure we're going to do it next week or so on. But I do want to remind everybody this Sunday, excuse me, at 4 o'clock, we'll be doing a talk to get to know who are the Grand United Order Odd Fellows and some of the things that it contributed to help make things a better and more reliable order for those to join. such as myself and others. I joined for several different reasons, and one of them is family. My great great grandfather was an odd fellow. He set up lodges and set up household, set up lodges for masonry, for moose, also for odd fellows. So I felt like I had that type of legacy. So I wanted to do things because I felt like I have a legacy. Welcome, ma'am. How you doing? So I wanted to at least invite y'all this Sunday at 4 o'clock. We'll be doing a show. We'll be putting out the flyer and information for those, and we'll be just talking with several different people about our fellow and what it means to a lot of us. We ask that you continue joining us and being a part of us and the show. So we ask that for you and everybody else to please come back Sunday at 4 o'clock. Join us for Go Up Live as we go into in the discussion. What is our fellows? How has it affected us? And what can it do for us in the near future? But first, we have to understand where we are and what's been going on. So I want to thank you all for coming tonight. We're about to wrap up the show. I would just want to thank you and ask that you continue listening to us and continue being a part of our inner circle and our inner family. Like you said, brotherhood and sisterhood isn't bound by blood. It's bound by the people that we choose to include in our lives and our inner circle. We ask that you continue being part of our inner circle, our family, to help us grow and become better at facilitating different things to individuals and talking with us about real talk and real things. We ask that you give us that time and energy, and we'll give you the same and even more because we believe in our mission. Our fellows motto is we build from men within to out. So we hope that we could continue that message going forward with each and every one of y'all. At times we will have different guests on the show. We'll be changing up our format, not just brothers and sisters of the order, but just individuals who want to talk about real things and real subjects. We hope that you enjoy the show and will continue enjoying the show. And we thank you very much and we appreciate you. And what we would like to say is have a good night, have a safe night, and we hope to see you again on this Sunday for our special program, Remembering Our Fellows. So we will be talking, having a special guest presentation. So please, again, thank you. We appreciate you. We love you. And if we could do anything for you and with you, we will do our best to communicate and educate. And that is our goal and our mission to both communicate and educate to you and those around you, around us. So we thank you again. And we appreciate everything that you have done and will do by listening to us and by adding comments and questions. If you have any other questions or comments, please feel free to join the Go Off Live group on Facebook, or if you can find us on our mobile app on Team App, look for Go Off, GUOF dot, and you will find us on there as well. We are also on YouTube. If you've seen the flyer, you've seen that as well. So we thank you and we appreciate you, and we hope to see you again later. So I will now bid you a very good night. Um, and I want to say thank you again. Thank you all again for all your effort, and we appreciate everything and anything that you have done with us, and we hope to see you again later. All right, producer,
All right. So long. Good evening.
good evening. Uh, so we're gonna give y'all a good night, and I hope to see y'all again sometime soon. Have a good night. Spell the calls. Will you go ahead and take